Over the past decade, we've seen a drastic change in the types of traffic patterns that application developers have to plan for. One day, you could be at standard traffic, and the next, needing to scale to handle tens of thousands more visitors. This, of course, leads to all sorts of issues with cost, response times, and scale. And there's no place in your application where this is felt more than in your database. Whether it's dealing with scale or just struggling to fit unstructured data into a relational schema design, most relational databases struggle to solve these issues. This is where Couchbase comes in. As a highly scalable, high-performance NoSQL document database, Couchbase is one of the fastest NoSQL databases available, entirely designed with modern applications in mind. And right now, there's nothing more modern than running a database using Kubernetes. See, Kubernetes has rapidly increased in sophistication with things like operators, persistent volumes, helping developers transition to the cloud, and scale where they need to. This is why we've built a special Kubernetes operator called the Couchbase Autonomous Operator. And it gives you the ability to deploy multi-node clusters by writing a small configuration and pushing it to Kubernetes, recovering automatically from node failures, automatically scaling your cluster up or down as load from the application changes, ensuring that nodes in the cluster are evenly split across racks or zones in the data center. You can also automatically upgrade the cluster to a newer version of Couchbase Server and manage cluster configuration to ensure that the configuration is properly set in your cluster. And to help bring this power to you, without all the headaches, we've teamed up with the GCP Marketplace to make deploying and managing Couchbase completely automated. Let's take a quick look at how easy it is to set up a Couchbase cluster on GKE using the Couchbase Autonomous Operator through the GCP Marketplace. The first thing you need to do is log into GCP and navigate to the Google Kubernetes engine. Then, click the Applications link to get to the Applications Marketplace. Click Deploy from the Marketplace, and then scroll down to get to the Couchbase Autonomous Operator. Click the Configure button to configure a new operator, and then make sure that the operator is going to be installed into the correct cluster. In our case, Standard Cluster 1, and click Deploy. It'll take a few moments to actually deploy the operator, but once it's done, you should get to a screen that looks like this. This means that the Couchbase operator has been successfully deployed and that you can now move forward to creating your first Couchbase cluster. The next thing that you need to do is define a configuration for your first Couchbase cluster that you want to create. In this example, we create a 3-node cluster with the data, index, and query service, one bucket named default, and we're running a Couchbase Enterprise 5.5.2. Push this configuration to your Kubernetes cluster, and the operator will automatically start creating a new Couchbase cluster based on the specification that we just defined. After a few minutes, you should see that your Couchbase cluster is created and you have access to the Couchbase administration console. If you click on the Servers button, you'll see that we have a 3-node cluster created, and if you click on the Buckets tab, you'll see that we have a default bucket. Just by running a few commands, we can use the Couchbase operator to deploy the cluster for us. If any of our Couchbase nodes fail, then the operator will get the Couchbase cluster back into a healthy state. If we need to upgrade the cluster to a later version in the future, then we can have the operator take care of the upgrade for us. We aim to make management of Couchbase clusters a thing of the past, and envision a world where users no longer need to focus on managing their infrastructure and can spend all their time building their applications. And when it comes to running the Couchbase Autonomous Operator on Google's GKE, it just works. Visit the GCP Marketplace today to set up a Couchbase cluster on GKE, or visit the link below to learn more.